Hola. Hi. So why is it so difficult to follow your own path? Because it really is. It really is. I think deep down, most of us really do want to fit into our closer community or society or whatever it is. Although I've been asking myself lately whether anyone, if they were really, really honest, feels like they fit in and belong, or whether there's loads of us who somehow feel more on the outside. So I think when you follow your own path, maybe we have to talk about what that means, because what does it mean to you, for example, to follow your own path? Is it important or not? I personally, I don't know, it's never something that I kind of set out to follow my own path, but I have a lot of friends who always say, oh, you always follow your own intuition or you follow your own path. And I don't know, I think for myself, I just somehow couldn't help it. Maybe it's a little bit the artist soul that many of us have, and we just kind of need to follow these I don't know, these inputs we have, or little visions, or whatever it is. But I think maybe one of the most challenging things to follow your own path is that it can be really, really lonely. Because at times, there is, maybe you have to forge the path, you feel lost in between quite often, at least I do. You have the moments where you're thinking, what the heck am I doing actually? Because I always felt if you do follow your own path and you use your intuition as well, the intuition only shows you the next step. And then the next one. There's not this grand 10-year plan. But I guess maybe there are some people who have a grand 10-year plan and still follow their own path. But I guess I could get into a philosophical discussion here, because then the question is, are you making your plans and because you think that's what it's all about and that's where you should be, because we have so many narratives about what success, for example, looks like, or the things we should be having at a certain age. And when I look back at my vision boards I used to do, or dream boards, I think they were really, quite frankly, quite influenced by, I don't know, what you see in commercials and the things, the typical things everybody wants to have or is supposed to have. And maybe one of the reasons why I always felt that, for example, allowing more improvisation in or intuition, is that it feels truer to me, even though I sometimes might not understand it, but I feel like it feels truer to what I really need and is freer of any brainwashing. But maybe I'm just imagining it. I don't know. But it's tricky, because I think on the one hand, the more truthful you to your own path, and if you find a way to communicate it, you do find your own people more easily. But at the same time, I think you need to be able to stomach to be for stretches on your own, or to at least feel like that, and to, I guess, to stay truthful to your values, For example, for me, it's been always somehow, I think, yes, important to be authentic. And even though that might be harder, especially when it comes to marketing. I hate any manipulation games, for example. So I guess there are, a lot of people and a lot of things that don't want you to be authentic and follow your own path. And it's not so obvious, but I think we get bombarded with messages that tell us how to live life, how to be. I've been talking about this before, and it's so insidious that we often aren't aware of it, and we don't realize that it actually really, because we seem to be in this free individualistic society, right? Where you now have endless choices, but really the messaging is just much more less obvious, I guess. And I think to follow your own path in many ways maybe has become more difficult than before, or differently difficult. And what's the win? You tell me, what's the win in following your own path? And maybe being able to say you stood in your own integrity after all, or I don't know. Maybe there's not such a big gain in following your own path. I'm being a little bit provocative here, I guess. So I would love to hear from you what it means to you to follow your own path. Is it something that's important to you, or is it more important to feel like you belong? Obviously, it would be wonderful if both can coincide. That would be perfect. So that's been me, Anja Kersten, life coach and artist. Take good care. Bye-bye.